Hello, everyone, and welcome to English Pod. My name is Marco.
My name is Catherine, and we're talking about the stars today.
That's right. Today, we're going to talk about a very popular subject. Many people believe in the horoscope.
So a horoscope is basically a system, very old system, of determining your future and describing your personality. And so it all depends on when you were born and where you were born. So what stars were in the sky when you were born?
That's right. So basically, as many of you may know, there are 12 signs. And we're going to talk about a couple of them and a little bit more about horoscopes and this, I don't know, I guess it's kind of like a branch of science or...
Yeah, pseudoscience.
Pseudoscience.
Yeah, I don't think there's much testing that's going on, but it's definitely something that a lot of people believe in. So let's take a listen to today's dialogue, and we'll be back in a moment to talk more about it.
Hey, Lydia, what are you reading?
I'm looking at my horoscope for this month. My outlook is very positive. It says that I should take a vacation to someplace exotic and that I will have a passionate summer fling.
What are you talking about? Let me see that. What are horoscopes?
It's a prediction of your month based on your zodiac sign. You have a different sign for the month and date you were born in. I was born on April 15th, so I'm an Aries. When were you born?
January 5th.
Let's see. You're a Capricorn. It says that you'll be feeling stress at work, but you could see new, exciting developments in your love life. Looks like we'll both have interesting summers.
That's bogus. I don't feel any stress at work, and my love life is practically non-existent. This zodiac stuff is all a bunch of nonsense.
No, it's not. Your astrology sign can tell you a lot about your personality. See, it says that an Aries is energetic and loves to socialize.
Well, you certainly match those criteria, but they're so broad they could apply to anyone. What does it say about me?
A Capricorn is serious-minded and practical. She likes to do things in conventional ways. That sounds just like you.
All right, we're back. So a very interesting dialogue between these two girls talking about one of them believing in the horoscope and the other one doesn't. But they mentioned a lot of interesting things, so we're going to have two language takeaways today. Let's start with language takeaway part 1.
Language takeaway.
All right, so one of the most common things you'll hear when we talk about the horoscope in English is an outlook. And an outlook can be positive or negative. So what exactly is an outlook?
Well, if you notice, Lydia said, my outlook is very positive. So basically, she's talking about her future.
Right, so the way that she sees the future, or the way that the horoscope talks about the future, is a positive one. So you could say, you know those 8 balls? They're black and they have like a message, and you shake it and it gives you a message.
You ask a question.
You ask a question and it says outlook positive.
That's right.
Outlook negative. So that means in your near future, things will either be positive or negative.
So I guess you can apply it, for example, to a company. You say that a company has a positive outlook.
Or even a person. You know, he's a very positive person, so he has a positive outlook. He thinks good things are going to happen.
Okay, very good. So talking about horoscopes, obviously we must mention the 12 zodiac signs.
Okay, so each month has its own sign, and they're not exactly the months. They're a little bit different, but each sign is a kind of an animal or a symbol.
That's right.
So, for example, a lot of August is part of the Leo sign in English. So that's the lion, and so the lion is the animal, the zodiac.
So the zodiac sign is one of these signs. Like Leo is one of the zodiac signs. And I guess all 12 signs are considered the zodiac or the horoscope.
Exactly. And you can actually talk about the zodiac in terms of other cultures. There is a Chinese zodiac. So we could say it's the year of the horse. But that's a little bit different from what we're talking about here with the Western horoscope.
Okay, very good. So all of this actually comes down to the, as we said, the pseudoscience or the branch called astrology.
Astrology. So this is a very hard word for some people to remember because they want to say astronomy. But it's different. Astronomy is the scientific study of the skies, the stars, planets, things like that. Astrology is different. It's what we're talking about here, the horoscope, and reading the stars to understand what our personal futures will hold for us.
That's right. So astronomy is an exact science part of, I guess, physics, where you talk about the stars or the composition of the stars and their movements. Whereas in astrology, we're talking about zodiacs and horoscopes and basically what star was in the sky when you were born, but in a different way. It's not very scientific.
That's right. So astrology is normally what you would see in the newspaper when you're trying to find your horoscope, astrology or horoscope.
And actually, every time you read the newspaper, if you look up your zodiac sign, it makes a prediction about your day or your week, or maybe even sometimes the month or year.
That's right. And so a prediction is basically a guess about what will happen for you.
That's right. So many times you see that the horoscope will say, finances are in trouble. Be careful with how you spend your money. So they're making a prediction that in the future, maybe you're going to have money problems, so you have to be careful.
Exactly. Or in the dialogue, you will have a passionate summer fling. This is a prediction. It has not yet happened. It will happen. Maybe.
That's right. That's right. A prediction. So now talking a little bit more about the zodiac signs that we saw in the dialogue, we mentioned two, Aries and Capricorn.
So a lot of people who believe in astrology say that astrological signs are broken up. They're divided into different kinds of sign. We have water signs, air signs, earth signs, and fire signs. And so one of the famous fire signs is Aries, right?
Aries.
It's like the god of war in the Greek mythology.
That's right. And so it's pronounced Aries. Aries.
Aries. Aries. That's right.
And the other one is a Capricorn.
Capricorn. So that's like a goat?
Yeah, it's kind of like a ram.
A ram.
So
it's like an earth sign.
That's right. So there are 12. These are just two of them. And obviously there are a lot more. I guess off the top of my head, we have Taurus or Leo. There's also a Scorpio.
Sagittarius. Gemini,
which are like twins, twin people. There's Pisces.
Virgo,
the Virgin. And I don't know if we're missing anything.
I can't think now. We'll have to talk about it at the very end of today's lesson. But we actually have some interesting things to talk about in a minute here. We have to talk about the personality characteristics that are common when you're talking about different zodiac signs.
Okay, so before we get to that, let's listen to our dialogue again.
Hey, Lydia, what are you reading?
I'm looking at my horoscope for this month. My outlook is very positive. It says that I should take a vacation to someplace exotic and that I will have a passionate summer fling.
What are you talking about? Let me see that. What are horoscopes?
It's a prediction of your month based on your zodiac sign. You have a different sign for the month and date you were born in. I was born on April 15th, so I'm an Aries. When were you born?
January 5th.
Let's see. You're a Capricorn. It says that you'll be feeling stress at work, but you could see new, exciting developments in your love life. Looks like we'll both have interesting summers.
That's bogus. I don't feel any stress at work, and my love life is practically non-existent. This zodiac stuff is all a bunch of nonsense.
No, it's not. Your astrology sign can tell you a lot about your personality. See, it says that an Aries is energetic and loves to socialize.
Well, you certainly match those criteria, but they're so broad they could apply to anyone. What does it say about me?
A Capricorn is serious-minded and practical. She likes to do things in conventional ways. That sounds just like you.
All right, we're back. So now let's take a look at these personality traits on Language Takeaway Part 2.
Language takeaway.
All right, so one of the great words that we heard in today's dialogue was exotic, okay? And this is not necessarily describing a person, but usually things, or clothes or places. And in this instance, it was some place exotic.
That's right.
What's an exotic place?
It's basically a place that's very unique, and I guess it's kind of not common to go there or to find. For example, many people talk about an exotic getaway, going to the jungle, because it's so exotic. You have so many strange animals and plants, and everything is so unfamiliar.
Right. So in my mind, Tahiti is very exotic. All right. It's full of jungle, and there's also beaches, and it's very unusual for someone who's from America because it's just so far away.
That's right. Exotic. So someone can also have an exotic personality because maybe they're a little bit strange, or not strange, but not so common, maybe unique.
Yeah. Although exotic is usually kind of a sexy thing when you're talking about people.
That's right.
You know, she looks very exotic. That means she doesn't look like everybody else here.
That's right. But another adjective to describe someone's personality is somebody that's very energetic.
All right. So energetic sounds like the word energy. That's because they're related. And so someone who is energetic has lots of energy. He or she, likes to do a lot of things and wants to always go places. And, the energetic person at your office, they always drink coffee.
That's right.
Maybe they make everyone else really tired just listening to them.
That's right. And actually, a person that's energetic usually also loves to socialize.
That's right. So loves to means they like to, but they like it a lot, right? But to socialize means to talk to other people, or to go to parties, or to meet new people.
So if it's a verb, to socialize means to talk to people, to meet people, to greet people. You love to have contact with other people.
So yeah, you're right. Very, very common for people who are energetic.
Okay. And what about someone that's practical? What is that like?
Someone who is practical does a lot of things. Maybe someone who's practical always comes to their activities prepared. So in my car, I'm very practical. I have extra water and a spare tire. But you can also say, I'm a very practical person. I like to do things that I can achieve, as opposed to someone who always wants to do things that they can't really achieve.
Okay. So a practical person is usually very realistic and very down to earth. Maybe someone that's practical, if they're going on a trip, they'll only take what's necessary, not more than they need.
Yeah, exactly. Let me give you a good example. I like to go hiking, and sometimes I see women who have not made very practical decisions about the shoes they wear. So I like to wear hiking boots. These are very practical. Wearing high heels on a mountain is not very practical.
That's right. Okay. Very good. Now, we also mentioned that a Capricorn is serious-minded and conventional in many ways.
Someone who's serious-minded maybe doesn't like to have fun and go out and do things that are silly. Someone who's serious-minded, is usually very practical, I think, and really has a goal, wants to achieve that goal. No time to be silly, no time to make jokes.
So it doesn't necessarily mean that the person is boring, but they're just very, as you said, practical.
That's
okay.
right.
And what about that a Capricorn also likes to do things in conventional ways?
All right, so conventional means doing something in a conventional way means that you're doing it in a traditional way. So this is a thing we've always done. We've always done it in this way, and I'm going to continue to do it in this way.
Okay.
So the opposite is unconventional. That means doing things in new ways, doing things with your imagination. And so something that's very conventional is something that, has been established, and we're just going to continue doing it that way.
So, for example, someone that gets married in a church is the conventional way, but someone that gets married while skydiving is very unconventional.
That's right. Unconventional.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Very good. So a lot of great vocab here. Why don't we listen to our dialogue one last time, and we'll be back to talk with you a little bit more.
Hey, Lydia, what are you reading?
I'm looking at my horoscope for this month. My outlook is very positive. It says that I should take a vacation to someplace exotic and that I will have a passionate summer fling.
What are you talking about? Let me see that. What are horoscopes?
It's a prediction of your month based on your zodiac sign. You have a different sign for the month and date you were born in. I was born on April 15th, so I'm an Aries. When were you born?
January 5th.
Let's see. You're a Capricorn. It says that you'll be feeling stress at work, but you could see new, exciting developments in your love life. Looks like we'll both have interesting summers.
That's bogus. I don't feel any stress at work, and my love life is practically non-existent. This zodiac stuff is all a bunch of nonsense.
No, it's not. Your astrology sign can tell you a lot about your personality. See, it says that an Aries is energetic and loves to socialize.
Well, you certainly match those criteria, but they're so broad they could apply to anyone. What does it say about me?
A Capricorn is serious-minded and practical. She likes to do things in conventional ways. That sounds just like you.
All right, so talking about the horoscopes, which sign are you?
I'm a Leo, which is actually, I don't believe in the horoscope, but I have to say, every time someone tells me about Leos, Leo the lion, right? I agree with most of their descriptions of my personality. So, outspoken. Loves to socialize.
Okay.
Very opinionated, which means I have an opinion and I don't like to listen to other people. Loves to argue. Very loud. So these are all qualities that I think I have, and some of them are bad, some of them are good, but you know, it's the way it is.
So, but you don't really believe in what magazines or newspapers say about your outlook.
Nah, I don't. Yeah, the predictions are usually just basic guesses. But what about you? What's your sign?
I am a Taurus, so I was born in May.
A bull.
A bull, yes. So I'm very stubborn and very strong. I don't really know what all the characteristics about the Taurus are.
Opinionated.
Opinionated. I know that it's
Loves to
stubborn.
argue.
Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't like to be corrected.
Are you describing Taurus or are you describing me?
Both.
All right. So it's actually very interesting. I think in many ways, sometimes the glove does fit and someone's zodiac sign describes them very well. But again, maybe like the dialogue says, they are very broad descriptions that basically any person can relate to.
Absolutely. I think that's one of the tricks to horoscopes or to predicting someone's future. You tell them enough very vague things that maybe some of them will fit and some of them won't.
That's right.
But I'm very curious to hear about you guys. What are your signs? We usually does what's your sign? That means what's your zodiac sign?
That's right. That's actually also a very common date question. People say, "Oh, what's your sign?"
Or a pickup line.
Or a pickup line.
Hey, baby, what's your sign?
To see if you're compatible, right?
Right.
The street fair looks alive tonight. Food trucks, neon bracelets, and that booth with the glitter sign. Horoscopes, 5 minutes.
I see it. A velvet tablecloth, a bowl of star stickers, and 12 little cards. Leo, Taurus, Scorpio, the whole zodiac zoo.
You're thinking what I'm thinking.
That we get fries first.
That we get a reading, then fries. I want to ask why my week feels like a slow-motion car alarm.
You know I'm the skeptic, but sure, 5 minutes can't rewrite the universe.
5 minutes can nudge a mood. Besides, look at the line. People want stories about themselves.
Or permission to make a decision they already picked.
Oh, so true.
Okay, imagine this. You pull Aries, and it tells you to try something exotic. You book a random train, end up somewhere with sea air and a bakery.
That's not a prediction, that's a plan. I could do that tomorrow.
I dare you.
Don't tempt me. You know I will.
Your sign again?
April birthday. You always said I stomp like a ram when I'm focused.
I said you move like a song with a big drum.
And you, January, steady as a metronome, practical to the bone.
I bring snacks and stop people from walking into fountains.
We make sense.
The booth is almost our turn. Read the board. Outlook, love, work, travel. Pick one.
Travel. Always travel.
Brave choice for someone who still packs 3 chargers just in case.
That's called being prepared.
Do you hear that hum?
Music?
No, the overhead cables, like they're chewing ice.
Maybe the ride across the street is pulling power?
Maybe.
That sounded real.
It was. Stay close to the wall. If the string lights drop, they'll miss us.
My heart just tried to exit through my shoulder.
In and out. You're okay.
The booth's crystal bowl is wobbling.
I'm moving it to the center, not touching the cards.
You're a good human.
I like unbroken glass.
Did you ever notice how nights like this feel like a test? Noise, crowds, small shocks?
Maybe the test is, can we be kind when surprised?
Then we pass. I didn't scream?
Not even a little.
Look, wind's picking up. The horoscope cards are fluttering like birds.
I've got them. Leo, Libra, Pisces, Pocket Rescue.
If someone asks, we are librarians for the stars.
We'll shelve them by courage, chaos, and snacks. I've got it. Brace your foot. On 3.
1, 2, no.
Okay, it's upright. Tie this cord around the railing.
Done.
You good?
Hands are buzzing, but yes, thank you.
We should step back from hero duty and breathe.
Agreed.
Also, we still haven't eaten.
Fries after survival is the rule.
The board says, "What's your sign?" People still ask that on dates?
Some do. It's like a shortcut to are we compatible, when the better shortcut is do you listen?
Bold take. Accurate.
Okay, let's test fate ourselves. We won't read the cards. We'll ask each other one question. If it lands, we act on it this week.
Deal. I'll go first. What's the fear under your insomnia?
Losing time. Waking up and realizing I slept through the good part.
Then we book one small bright thing for Tuesday. 10 minutes, non-negotiable.
Like what?
A sunset on the pedestrian bridge. No phones.
Booked.
Your turn.
What do you want that you keep calling someday?
A cabin weekend. No noise, just soup, paper books, and silent stars.
That's not someday. That's pick a date.
I'll pick one after Fries. Promise.
Again, with the jump scare.
It missed everyone. We're okay. Keep your shoulders low.
My shoulders are in my ears. Pull them down for me.
There. Better.
Thanks.
You know what's weird? Even with the shocks, this night feels good.
Because we still chose each other's voice over the noise.
True.
Let's do one more brave thing. Close your eyes and pick a card. If it says something wild, we adapt it.
Okay. Picking. Got one.
Open.
Scorpio.
Passionate, secretive, dramatic.
We can aim for passionate fries, secret menu, zero drama.
Perfect VMix. My turn.
Pull.
Capricorn.
Practical, conventional, steady.
I can be steady. I'm steady when I care.
You're steady already. You just run fast between pauses.
Look, the moon got out from behind the cloud. The whole street shifted color.
The velvet table looks silver now.
It's like the sky pulled a filter.
Or said outlook positive, just for us.
Do you think people change because of signs or because they decide to?
I think stories are tools. If the story helps, use it. If not, re-rate.
Tonight, I want a story about courage that looks like gentleness.
And about sleep that arrives like a friend, not a thief.
I'll take both.
Quick game as we walk. Name 3 things we'll remember from tonight.
The pop in the wires, the way you grabbed the tent, and the moon changing the street's face. You?
Your hand steady on the knot, your voice steady on my name, and the promise of a Tuesday sunset.
I like when your lists have my name in them.
They usually do.
Fries ahead. Do we split one or commit to 2?
2. We just survived a tiny circus.
And we still owe a kindness to ourselves.
After Fries, let's take the long way home. Past the river, through the quiet blocks, the ones with the old brick and sleepy windows.
And when we pass the dark bakery, we'll imagine the first batch rising.
Your favorite thought?
It tastes like safety.
How's your heart now?
Slower. It's learning the rhythm again.
Good.
And yours?
Steady. Practical to the bone, remember?
My metronome.
Okay, last pact of the night.
I'm listening.
If the world throws noise at us, pop, crash, flicker, we look at each other first. Eyes before screens. Pact accepted. And tomorrow morning, we don't ask the stars for permission to be kind to ourselves. We just do it.
Done. Fries now, then the long way home, then a soft light and a quiet window. I want sleep to find me smiling.
And it will. Tonight's outlook, small, steady, good.
Hey everyone, welcome again. Tonight we're going somewhere familiar and a little dangerous. The world where your day can swing because a tiny paragraph told you your outlook is very positive, and you might meet someone in an elevator if you hold the door just long enough. I know that room well. I've sat with friends who read those lines like weather reports. One summer, Lydia kept a folded page in her bag, and every time the day got cloudy, she opened it and said, "See, it says take a vacation to someplace exotic and a passionate summer fling is coming." She didn't wink, she just believed. We were in a kitchen with the window open. Traffic outside like soft surf. cutting fruit into a big bowl, and she was glowing. Because when your month is written in ink, the world feels organized, like signs on a highway. I didn't argue. I poured coffee and watched her decide on earrings for a party, because the paragraph also whispered that new, exciting developments in her love life were possible on Thursdays after sunset. And I swear she checked a calendar and circled every Thursday in red. Meanwhile, Marcus leaned on the counter and called it bogus, nonsense, trash, but he said it with a smile because he loves to argue. And yes, he's a Leo, the lion, loud, outspoken, a little opinionated, but with a heart you can hear beating when he laughs. So we go to this party, right? And the DJ plays a track that sounds like a city at night. And Lydia says she's an Aries and feels energetic tonight. And I see it. She's moving, greeting people, talking to strangers, ready to socialize with anyone who makes eye contact for more than 2 seconds. Across the room, there's Nora, serious-minded and practical, who has a notebook in her tiny bag because she likes to write lists even at a party. Capricorn, obviously. And yes, she does things in conventional ways and somehow makes conventional look cool, like a vintage jacket that fits perfectly. Lydia meets Nora by the snacks, and somehow they start reading everyone's tiny predictions out loud, not like fortune tellers, more like playful radio hosts. And the room starts to bend toward them in a gentle curve. The shy guy near the balcony? Gemini, 2 thoughts at once, 2 moods in the same minute, saying he loves the music but also needs air. The woman by the speaker with the deep, steady eyes? Scorpio, built like a secret, smiling with only half her mouth, listening closely. And the tall kid in sneakers who keeps pointing at the map on the wall, explaining where he backpacked last year? Sagittarius, lover of the open road, making plans while finishing his sentence. It's easy to say the words and imagine a map under your feet. Maybe that's the pull. A sign says, "Walk this way," and you walk. Or you rebel and go sideways, just because the sign told you not to. The night is good, the windows are foggy, and then a small twist happens. The lights flicker and the music cuts. For a second, it's just breath and laughter and a soft, "oh," and Lydia puts her phone up and says, "Okay, the universe wants a story," and starts to tell us about her aunt who checks the newspaper every Sunday morning, folding the page in half so her coffee won't stain it, whispering predictions like prayers that taste like cinnamon. She says her aunt survived a hard year with nothing but those tiny lines and a stubborn belief that an outlook can be good if you give it the chance to be. I stand there, listening, and even Marcus is quiet, because faith, any kind, can fill a room like music. The lights come back, and our night returns, brighter somehow, and I catch a small moment. Nora, the Capricorn with the notebook, slips a pen to Lydia and says, "Write your Thursday plan." And it's sweet, not preachy, just 2 people building a tiny bridge. There's a debate near the couch, astronomy versus astrology. No lectures, just the easy rhythm of friends tossing words across a table. One person saying planets and numbers, the other talking about feelings and the way a sentence can change your shoulders from tight to relaxed. Somebody drops the classic pickup line, "What's your sign?" and the whole room groans. But we're laughing too, because clichés survive for a reason. They're familiar doors we can still walk through. I step outside to breathe, street air cold on my face, and think about predictions. A prediction isn't a law. It's a story you test with your life. You try it on, like a jacket, and if it fits, you keep it. If it squeezes your shoulders, you leave it on the chair. Back inside, the energy shifts again, and the DJ slides into a beat that feels like a long road in June, and Lydia's eyes catch the rhythm. Maybe this is the moment the paragraph promised. She doesn't search for the fling. She opens her circle. People join, leave, return, like waves. She dances with the shy Gemini, then with the steady Scorpio, and finally with the tall traveler who has a plan for everything except his own heart. It isn't wild, it's warm. Sometimes a fling isn't fire. It's a soft spark you remember later when the bus is late. Marcus watches and shrugs and says, "Coincidence," but his voice is gentle, like he's not fully committed to being unimpressed. He's a Leo, yes, but he's also a friend, and he knows that sometimes the belief is the bridge across a difficult week. Outside of the party, life is louder. There's stress at work. You wake up and the inbox is a small storm. Messages stacked like chairs, and someone says there's a new deadline, and your jaw tightens. You try a breathing app and close it after 10 seconds because the phone buzzes, and then you find that page again, the one that says you might feel stress at work, but something could open up in your love life. And you don't know if it's true, but you do know this. Your back relaxes a little, and you send a message to someone you like. Nothing dramatic, just a small hello. And when they answer with a smile, your day gains a little light. Maybe the trick isn't magic. Maybe it's permission. The lines on the page give permission to hope, to try, to jump. Not because a star gave you orders, but because your brain loves reasons, and a tiny paragraph is a decent reason on a hard morning. I've seen stubborn Taurus friends who never change their mind, not even in a hurricane, suddenly book plane tickets because a line suggested an exotic getaway, and then they returned with stories of beaches and forests and people they never thought they would know. And who cares whether the push came from a paragraph or from their own hunger for a different view? I've watched Virgos clean a shelf and, in that quiet, find a sentence that nudges them to send a brave email. I've watched Pisces sit on a bridge and cry and then laugh and then call their mother because the week's prediction said connection is around you if you lift your head. I've stood with friends in January when the streets are glassy and cold, thinking about the year of the horse someone mentioned and how different maps overlap in the same city without a fight. There's room for science and room for stories. You can plot a flight by numbers and still smile when the clouds look like animals. You can love the moon and still check your bus schedule. Tonight, I want that rhythm for you, the one where you talk to yourself the way a kind paragraph does. Not a lecture, not a rule, just a nudge. You're energetic enough to start. You can socialize with one person at a time. You are practical about your steps, yes, but also open to a twist that brings you to a new street where the cafe lights are warmer than you expected. Picture a week where you carry a small prediction like a smooth stone. You touch it when you're scared. You don't worship it, you use it. You let it point you toward a conversation, a walk, a decision you already wanted to make. If it fails, you shrug and choose again. If it helps, you keep it in your pocket a little longer. Some nights we're loud and opinionated and feel like we have to win the argument about what is real. But what if the win is smaller and closer? A breath before you answer, a smile that doesn't cost you anything, a plan drawn on a paper napkin that gets you out of your apartment on Thursday after sunset because the page said that time might be lucky, and honestly, you needed a reason to leave your couch. I think about Lydia again, months after the party, walking home under a sky that looks like spilled salt, and she's not waiting for the universe to push her into a story, she's writing it. She still opens the little page sometimes, but now it's a partner, not a boss. If it says her outlook is positive, she texts a friend and sets a time for coffee. If it says, be careful with money, she cooks at home and invites people over with a playlist and a jar of olives and a joke. Marcus still shakes his head and calls it nonsense, and we love him for it, because every group needs a voice that cuts the sugar. But even he admitted, in a quiet moment on a Tuesday, that reading a line like, "New developments in love," made him hold the elevator for an extra beat. And in that beat, a neighbor stepped in and said thank you, and now they share dog walking schedules on weekends. The world didn't change, the door just stayed open a little longer. You don't have to believe to enjoy the music of the language. Aries, Capricorn, Leo, Taurus, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Gemini, Pisces, Virgo. Those words taste like colors, like old stories, like a map someone drew centuries ago. And sometimes saying them out loud settles the air. If a pickup line lands in your lap, what's your sign? You can laugh and redirect the conversation to something truer, like the way you like your coffee or the corner of the park where the light is exactly right at 5 p.m. You don't have to be compatible on paper to enjoy the short walk from the train to the bookstore. You can live without labels and still use them as tiny mirrors when you need to check your face. And if a prediction breaks your heart, let it go. It's paper. You're not paper. Your breath and voice and the sound of your keys when you lock the door behind you and step into the evening with your shoulders loose, your phone in your pocket, your plan simple. Move your body, open your mouth when you have something kind to say, close it when you need silence. Try the new place on the corner. Be practical when the bill arrives. Be unconventional when the song asks for it. If tonight your sign says nothing special, make something special anyway. If it says love is near, look up from the screen on the subway and notice the person reading the same book as you. If it says work is hard, set a timer, do a small piece, take a small break, and then do another piece. If anyone tells you you're doing it wrong, smile, because there is no wrong way to carry hope. Maybe that's the secret that Tiny Paragraph has been trying to whisper all along. The stars are beautiful. The city is loud. You are here, and your month is a story you get to tell with your hands, your feet, your voice, and the people you meet when you hold the door a second longer than usual.